Good morning, everybody. It's John D, a.k.a. the Habitual Thought Challenger. This wonderful morning, blessed to wake up and find another way to be more productive than I was yesterday, trying to be a better husband for this wonderful, beautiful woman next to me that seems to like this dog way more than me.
He cuddles me.
Yeah, I know. I cuddle you too, and
Oh, true.
But it's a great day. Having productive conversations with the wife this morning. So I guess this is what I want everybody to know, that we are purposefully conversing with each other throughout the day to make sure that we are covering our bases for not only ourselves but our family. And we feel like if we talk to each other to make sure that nobody's being rubbed the wrong way. No, it's not going to be any sneak attacks. So we can move forward. We're just trying to get completely on the same page, like mentally, spiritually, to the point where she knows what I'm going to do. And I've never in my life thought that was possible, but I feel like we're close. Because I feel like I've given her so much of me that I didn't even know I had. So it's been great growing this way. And I just had to let y'all know. Oh, by the way, the reason why I'm so talkative this morning is because I'm butt naked.
Not for real.
No, but how you doing this morning, dude? I'm sorry.
I'm fine.
Yes, you are.
I'm due. I'm the woman first, then the wife, the mother, the nurse, the public health professional, the dog mom. Just letting y'all know some of the things that describe me.
So tell me, what is the first thing that you describe yourself?
Well, I said the woman.
No. When you think of yourself, you think of the woman?
No, but that's a practice that I'm working on.
So what I'm asking you is, what do you think? What's the adjective that comes to your mind when you describe yourself?
I guess I think of myself first as a mother. I think because I get pulled in so many directions. I think of whatever puts the most responsibility on me. So I guess I think the mother, and I know, we've learned that you always put your husband first. But I think that, oftentimes those who require the most thought from me and planning from me are the kids. And so I usually think of myself in terms of the mother first.
I can dig that. I was thinking like you would have to, because the way that I view it now, if you were bearing most of the weight and mentally I wasn't in a position to help you, you would typically fall into that more than anything else.
Yeah, I think now it's a little bit, it's different because you cover a lot of those bases. And I think that it's loosened up a little bit more of my time in my mental space, where I'm really starting to take inventory and say, okay, well, what about Kanika as the person? You and I, we're definitely, we're on a different page and trying to, a different page than we were before, and trying to get to know each other and be closer. So, and learn, just learn each other as a different type of friends, a different level of closeness than we had before. So that's great. It doesn't really feel like it takes work from me though, because I do enjoy it, but I think that it's taking work for me to reprogram myself to prioritize myself as a woman too. So that's why I put that part out there. It's not that I disregard my husband. I know some people might be like, what, you supposed to, but I'm saying, looking at how we've been taught to prioritize.
For sure.
you're helping to balance the parenting. So I can take that off my shoulders. You are very present. So it's not hard for us to carve out time and grow us. But me as a person, that's what's taking a lot of effort.
Yeah, I want you to know when you said that I appreciate that. And not only that I need to do a better job at realizing that I'm not supposed to see results happen the way that I'm think they're supposed to happen.
Okay.
And I know that a lot of times the passive behaviors of being petty and being sensitive emotionally, like out of whack, can be overwhelming to you too. You like, I don't got time for this man to be crying all the damn time.
Hey, it'd be some tears. It'd be tears over here. But that's okay. Because men are often taught not. One thing I will say is I could probably count on one hand the number of times I had seen you cry prior to the last 2 years. Like, you might show a lot of different emotions, but tears in your despair, that I did not see that very often. And when you did cry, them things, it would be like 3 little tears that come out. You'd be like, suck it back up. But now, you be like, let the floodgates open. Yeah,
it's so crazy.
I want to let my feelings out. And so it's good to see it, though. The vulnerability is good to see it.
Yeah. It's cool. Sometimes I be feeling uncomfortable, like, why are you always crying? In my head, I can hear myself like saying that to, like, I guess as a kid, when you just go through, when you stop crying as a kid, that's tough.
Yeah.
You're hardened too soon for your environment has hardened you in so many different areas that you just don't know how to like act emotionally.
Well, I think, at some point, some people may get tired and they be like, look, I'm tired of hurting like this. This is the norm. So what am I crying for? I should have expected it. I think tears come from your sadness or mourning something. Once you already know that that's the life, you no longer give that energy to it anymore. I also think that, like I've read and I've watched in some different shows where they describe historically, some centuries ago, you all know, we were put in positions where we would be beaten. And the idea is that some felt that if they could keep themselves from crying, they would prove themselves worthy to stay where they were with their families. So when slaveholders might beat on someone, if you cry a lot, it might show a sign of weakness and they sell you off and you go away from your family. So it was a protective factor to hold back those tears and to keep that emotion at bay. So I think that there are a lot of things, and we teach boys as soon as a tear come out, no, you be a big boy. You don't cry. So when I see, the floodgates open for you, I just think it's years of pent up emotion that it just wasn't allowed. And not meaning to bring up past histories, but I think that it's a multi-layer reason why men are not as open to crying, or it seems so alien to some people where they try to make men push it back. But I don't think you should push it back. Like, because in those tears comes release. So I go ahead and let them out. Y'all.
You stupid.
He's releasing right now. It's okay. No, I do agree. You gotta let it go. And I don't know. To me, tears give me, it makes me feel like I'm letting things out, and I'm releasing pressure and pent up hurt. And so, you know how hard it is to hold it in when you be trying to keep that little lip from quivering and your eyes get all. It's far more painful to me to hold it than it is to just let it release. And what are they there for? Why are we fighting them back? If your body's natural way of being is to release it with emotion, why do we fight it?
I think in my head, it's just trying to break some habits because I'm comfortable with crying.
Oh, I know.
But I'm telling you that I think it's like, I know that at some point I'm going to stop crying regularly, and that means I'm going to be closer at balance, I think.
Yeah.
So I feel like my decisions will remotely become better in every category because my emotions are becoming more aligned with how I should be moving.
Yeah, because I think that what you experience and what you talk about, it doesn't necessarily have to be, it's not just that topic that you're talking about that's making you cry. It's all of the things that have built up to that point that led to that topic, and all of it is just pushing out at once.
Oh, yeah.
And so, to me, don't fight your body's natural way of being. And tears are that natural response. It's trying to figure out what is it that makes me cry, though. Like, like I can tell you that if you say something, I said, hey, that hurt my feelings. Yeah.
But then if I talk about a subject, I'm trying to figure out what about the subject that causes me to feel like this is the time. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what's the parallel so I can figure out, okay, this is why I'm crying. And I can't figure that out.
I don't know. I think sometimes it's the topic itself. I think it's underlying things. I think that it might be underlying things that are connected to the topic. Sometimes it's just frustration. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a want to be able to make somebody understand what you're saying and you can't. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just joy. I remember growing up, I used to be in church every week, multiple days. I was part of the choir, part of the praise team, and there were certain songs that I would sing that would bring about it would make my chest ache. And it would make me warm, and I would just let tears come out. And it's just, tears are not just sadness. Sometimes it's joy. Sometimes it's frustration. Sometimes it's sadness and mourning. It's so many things. I like when women be like, I hate when people say that I'm weak because when I get mad, I cry. I don't like when people see me cry when I'm mad. And it's really because I'm trying not to bust them in their face. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. Like, tears touch everything. Anger, disappointment, joy.
I haven't had that yet.
Oh, no.
The happy joy. Tears.
Really?
Yeah, that seems weird.
Oh.
Like to me, when you said that, I was like, I remember laughing and crying.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, to me, it's just because my eyes is dry. It's not like a real laugh. It's not it's not like tears like I have. So
no, it's not just that your eyes are dry. Sometimes you laugh to the point of crying. Look, you know me.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Definitely laugh to the point of crying.
I'm saying I haven't experienced anything.
Yes,
like
it's coming.
Oh, inshallah.
I think that, you can experience tears for a multitude of reasons and let them out. Every last one of them reasons, let them out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for the tears of joy.
Oh, yeah. It'll come. I think the lesson here is, man, let these tears out, though. Because, we're changing the way we look at men and what strength is, and I don't see a lack of strength. I think that with our son, I remember when he was younger, he used to cry a lot, and you would get frustrated, and you felt like I was babying him. But I feel like we stunt you all. We stunt your growth and your ability to really understand how deep your emotion can go, how we teach you all to push it down sometimes. And then when you look at us embrace our emotions, then that's seen as negative. I think that we all need to be allowed to be human.
I think that this is how come I broke it down in my head to make it make sense. That when you're black in America, coming up, during our generation, maybe a little bit after ours, but our parents, they're making you tough because the world is tough and they ain't got time for tears. So they don't want you to like fall on your face and not get back up. And I think the problem is that if you can't balance it, I mean, you're going to be just lucky enough to make it if you do find a way.
But I think that, and I agree, I think that it is a way of protecting you, and it's a way of preparing you because nobody's going to care about your tears. And I know that I've said that to our kids before, and I'm going to tell you, my mom, I feel like it's when it becomes damaging to us is when we won't even acknowledge the feelings. We're told to push them down as soon as they come. Yeah. Like my mom would tell me when I was really, really devastated by something, she said, I'm going to give you 15 minutes to cry. I'm going to give you 15 minutes to cry and scream and feel however you're going to feel. And then we're going to wipe everything up and we're going to figure out how to fix it. And that's how my mom operated. She let you feel, and you had to acknowledge your feelings because you pressing it down only creates more tension to build up later. She was like, no, you feel that way. It makes sense. You could cry, but you ain't going to lay here and cry and sulk in it for forever. Whatever it is, it needs you to act on it. So we're going to let you acknowledge your feelings, cry, scream, feel however you want to feel. But then once that tear is done, we're going to wipe that thing up and we're going to piece together. What are you going to do about it?
Well, you know, a lot of my crying came from whooping, so.
I got some whoopings.
No, I'm telling you, that's what, my
like
lessons were going to be a little different.
They were different. And that's another thing about parenting. Like my mom, she wasn't quick to whoop us either. But I wasn't really a mischievous kid. So some people say mischievous. But
some both work.
But at this point in time, like my mom was all about, she ain't gonna be there to help you solve problems, and she really wasn't in a sulk, and that's just how her family went. But she wasn't gonna deny us our feelings, and I appreciated that. And I feel like my brothers are not afraid of tears. But my brothers will fix whatever the problem is. And you know, sometimes I believe that I can say whatever with my brothers, and if I'm really hurt, sometimes they cry with me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm about to cry. But sometimes they will cry with me, and I call it my right and my left lung because
I love those guys too. You know, they're some really great guys.
Yeah, they know me inside out. You know,
yeah, for sure.
And I appreciate my mom letting them be who they are because my dad was very emotionally distant. He didn't have that in him, and my brothers definitely, they're the best part of, like, those are the men you need by your side. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You don't necessarily always need a man who's like, who did it? And then they want to run and go beat him up. You know, sometimes in that moment, you need the ones that will hold you and say, it's all right, Neat. You know, I understand. And they'll hug you and they'll cry because you know that it hurts them that you hurt. And in our marriage, as we were moving forward, we were really young, and that just wasn't in you. And when I needed comfort,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I was blessed to have them.
Yeah.
Because I was able to talk to them, and they provided that masculine covering of hugging me. And like my younger brother, Kyle, he can hug you and completely consume you from all sides. I mean, the most loving hugs in the world. And my older brother, Kari, Kari will let you be sad. But Kari is my mother's child. He'd be like, all right, so what's the plan? Now, he might be one of them ones like you see on Instagram, like, sweet Caroline. They said, my sister said somebody put their hands on him and then the brother comes and it was like, pow, pow. Kari might ride out for me, not to the point of a felony, but but that being able to have a man who can cover you, be masculine, be strong, and still stand in that emotion with you is so powerful. And that's why I really want Dallas to be able to own his emotions. When Dallas hugs like he doesn't intend to let you go until you want to be like he's going to be that type of man.
Yeah.
And that's why I really encourage it. I encourage men to really own their emotions. And for you, you've held back for so long. It's all pent up. But I do believe that you have that potential in you now to be that covering and understand from an emotional standpoint. Because look, y'all, we were having a conversation and we were talking about hugs. Have we ever talked about that on here? And you were like, yeah, I don't really understand why people be hugging. No, because he was like, why? I mean, I understand hugging people like if someone passes away or like if you haven't seen them in a while, you hug them to say hi. But he was like you would be upset or I'd be upset and you would come and hug me. And I just didn't understand what that was supposed to do. And I was like, what? That's supposed to show, comfort. And you were like, yeah, no.
Yeah, because, when I thought about hugs, it was like normally after a whooping, my father used to make me hug him and he'd say, I love you. And, I didn't understand the point. And then as I got older, the hugs were like, when somebody died or you haven't seen somebody in a long time. So the idea of comfort from hugs was just like, it was. So when she was crying earlier, it made me think like I was just totally clueless then, because in my head, like I would have never known to do that.
Yeah, he wouldn't come to hug me. I would have to walk over there and put myself on him. And then he would be like, oh, it seems like my arms are supposed to go around her. But, even like to the point where I was explaining to him the way that I interpret hugs or how I use them is if we're hugging and you put your arms over top of my shoulders, that's you covering me and comforting me. So if I put my arms over your shoulders or I rub your head or I rub on your back, that's me comforting you. That's me allowing you to take your vulnerable moment and I'm going to stand strong for you. And if you cover me by hugging me over my shoulders and then my arms around your waist, then that means you are comforting me. And he was like, look, all these rules. Nobody has rules for hugs.
Hey, look, check this out. I don't know too many men that know that. And if they do know that, we never had these conversations.
Well, this is how I saw it. So that's how I read it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm going to stand strong for you so you can be vulnerable with me and let your tears out and feel protected and feel loved and whatever. Man, that dude be looking at me all kind of crazy. But, I'm telling you, I think one of the things that really, and this just shows how we grew up very differently. And there are things about my family emotionally that I wasn't going to allow for my son that he might not have seen watching his dad. So it is really good that at this point you're coming to that point where you're, evolving, but he would have gone years without really understanding. If I wouldn't have grown up with men who were comforting and loving, I wouldn't have known to impart that on him. You didn't know to impart that on him, and he would have lost all of those years of it becoming a practice.
Oh yeah.
So I think that it's an important lesson. Men, let the tears out.
I think ultimately, in order for a man to get to that point, they have to reach a level of my life has to be more than just this. Because like I said, I don't know too many men that, they don't talk about it. And to me, if you don't talk about it, it may not be that important to you.
Well, I don't think that, well, it can't be important if you don't know that it's something to discuss and something to, just like hugs and how to hug and how to comfort, it was not important to you because you didn't know that there was a science to it, as far as me.
No, I get it, but I'm saying as far as men to say something, like it's not important enough to mention, like, hey guys, do you, like, it's not a regular topic of conversation.
Oh, well, make it a topic. Wait, what's the topic? Do y'all hug or do y'all cry? Is that what's the topic that they should be focusing on?
No, I think ultimately it's just the idea of being open that they got some bad practices.
Okay.
Because like I said, normally when I talk with men, you can narrow the categories down to a very slim few. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And of course you got, your exceptional people that you can talk to multiple things or whatnot. But typically to talk to a man, you talk about sports, you talk about women, you talk about getting money,
right?
Professional career, you know what I'm saying? But when you break those down into like the idea of how you speak to somebody, mm-hmm. to like just, how we were talking about how you gonna talk to somebody in this house ruder than you would talk to somebody outside. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So mm-hmm. It's like we would never talk about that conversation with men because it would never break down that far down. No.
Well, yeah, I guess that just comes down to I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. No, well, to me, I said it was important because you and I have conversations about everything.
Yeah.
And we have those conversations because we're trying to fix our household. Mm-hmm. So if we can recognize that one energy just flipped when another energy came in, mm-hmm. like, we can talk about those things. But as a man, I wouldn't know to say, hey, fellas, guess what? This is what happened in my household. Well, I do now, but mm-hmm. before I wouldn't have known to say that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, using this as this platform to show how men won't even have conversations out of those subgroups.
Yeah. But I mean, it's all about, digging down into that. And I think that sometimes the way that I looked at it was when, and I've never been in on men's conversations, but men are weighed down by their day. So when they talk to their friends, they want mindless, and I could be wrong, they want fun conversation. They want things to take them away from the stress and the extra thought. What is it I enjoy? What do I naturally like to talk about? Is it sports? Do we like to joke around about certain things? Like me and my friend group from high school, we still talk, but when we get together, we could easily fall into a conversation reminiscing on our younger years. And that could just be, we could create an entire conversation just based off of our senior year of high school, or when we went down to Legends in Detroit, or we got stuck over a bailout. Like, we could have those conversations and that would be the whole conversation and it's done. And it feels good and it's not stressful. And we didn't talk about the kids. We didn't talk about who we're dating or who we're married to. We didn't talk about any of that. Mm-hmm. It's straight, mindless. We are going to laugh until we cry conversation and then we're done. Mm-hmm. And I think men, you go throughout your day, you work, whether you like your job or not, especially if you don't like your job. It's like so much has stripped all of your energy. You got to re-up on something that just feels good to your soul. And you don't think to go in and start unearthing feelings and trying to find words for things you never discussed in those conversations, because you guys come home to women who want to talk. We want to let's have conversation and talk, or kids who need help with homework, or your mom needs you to make a run and bring something over to her house. And the responsibilities for men, we as women, we have our own laundry list of responsibilities, and we always look at men enviously like, dang, I wish my life would run just as easily as y'all, because the details we have to cover.
So I don't understand why.
But I don't minimize the pressure that Black men have. Not men, but also me being a black woman, so I'm speaking on black men. I don't deny the amount of bandwidth that is taken up with going throughout the day, that you just want to, when you have a conversation with your friends, you just want to let it be joyous.
So this
and
is
easy.
We're going to
I
work.
just spoke on men conversations,
yes,
and I don't even be in them.
And
okay.
I want to like just.
He's about to fix it.
No, I want to see how. All right, so you know that women's days are a lot more filled than men mentally.
Yeah,
you agree
most
with
certainly.
that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I said that men don't talk about specific things, and I feel like you said that they don't want to talk about those things because they just want mindless days. So
not mindless days. No, I'm saying a moment where they don't have to be pressured.
I get it, but so what are you trying to create? You trying to create a pampered man who doesn't? No, you just said that women throughout the day. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm listening.
So what kind of man do you want? You want a man that is not even fulfilling his expectations.
No. I don't think that it should be read that way.
Well,
I think that I'm saying that they don't. I feel like it's not important to them to dig into those conversations because it's not a regular practice.
Because they weren't taught it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so how do we break bad practices to make the man better?
I think that it's just as simple as giving them something to talk about. Maybe we'll post something online or something and just have guys try it out. Go into your group chat.
Oh, well, my friends do. My friends talk about it. Yeah, but they unfortunately got forced into it.
Yeah, because of you. I think that a lot of times men are very macro and women are micro.
Yeah.
So you all see big picture. It's not a lot of detail. You don't get into the details.
Correct.
And we, as women, we have to be into the details because of the different functions we serve, where we're working, and when we come home, primarily. Not all the time, but primarily women take on the brunt of what goes on in the household and the inner workings and what have you. So I think women are very micro where they go into details. Men are very macro. And so it's not natural in their conversations to go into something that's not surface level conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't think that men are incapable of these conversations or they wouldn't be interested. It's just that if you've never seen a kumquat, you're never going to eat a kumquat. So if you never...
Well, I'll tell you,
you got to be exposed to it to experience it.
Well, see, that's tough too.
Well, that's why I'm saying post a question or something that they can explore. So then, so then people can start to, try it out.
No doubt. We'll see, because I know that. And this is to anybody who does not know me. I'm just viewing it in a way that I've never viewed it before. I know there's going to be men that says, hey, that's whatever reasons. I just want you to know I used to view it probably the similar to you. I just felt like it was a more effective way. I thought it could get better. So I wanted to use this time. Like, I felt like if my wife is tired, because of whatever reasons of what I don't understand, because for years I used to tell her that I was a gift to her.
Yeah.
And I was so serious. And I'm going to tell you why.
As a heart attack.
I was serious because in my mind, I was told that, I'm a black man. I didn't have any kids. I had a job. I had a car. I had my own place. I felt like I was a hot commodity. I was like, I'm a good guy. I don't want to hurt people. I want to help kids. I want to just move up. I thought I was like a stellar guy, and I was funny, and I'm not ugly. It was like I just felt like I was a great catch. So,
however, him saying stuff like that and people would meet us and they'd be looking at me like, how do you
yeah, you know what's so crazy? That's how narrow-minded I was.
He was a little delusional.
But I'll tell you, I told her this yesterday. I said it wasn't a time where I said, hey, what can I do to be better? Like, is everything okay? Like, I always did that because I wanted to improve. And then I was like, am I doing anything that, because I even asked her if I was like, do you think I'm an alcoholic? And she said, no. And I was an alcoholic. I'm going to tell you why I was an alcoholic. Because I convinced myself that I was pretty good at driving under the influence. You know you're an alcoholic when you say, hey, man, I drive good when I'm drunk.
To be fair, I am a child of an alcoholic. So he hadn't reached that threshold for me. I was like, nah.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't,
right still.
You're absolutely right because, so for the most part, I didn't get DUI. I didn't, get tickets or anything like that. I did get in one little thing, but it was, just quick and gone. But for the most part, I kept my nose clean. But I asked this and you know what's so crazy? You're right, because your level of standard was like, no, an alcoholic would be doing way more than just what you're doing.
I was like, oh, this dude.
And I never thought about it until you just said that. And I was like, oh, that's why. Because in my head, I was like, my wife is... what is like assisting and abetting like a alcoholism.
I was, but to me, if you ask me what an alcoholic is, I could tell you what I remember, and I'm like, nah, you're not. You have not reached the definition of what I've seen as an alcoholic. Now, if we looked at the basic of what it could mean, yeah.
I was drinking.
That wasn't what I was measuring.
I was drinking a fifth almost every day, and I had I'm telling you, I had got so well versed in different liquids. I started out with cognac. Like cognac was something special. Then it just got too sweet. I moved on to like whiskeys and scotches because of cigars, and then I kind of just stayed in there. But now I'm just more of a plant type guy. I'm plant based mostly. I kind of stay away from adult beverages unless I can be safe. I just really, I don't want to get out of character. And when I say that, I mean, I'm like really comfortable with not drinking. But when I go out, I'll drink because I don't want people to feel uncomfortable. People feel uncomfortable, if people not drinking. And I don't want to.
Like, why aren't you drinking?
Yeah,
you should have a drink.
And I don't want to look tense. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you all right? And I was like, man, you should have a drink. I should have a drink. Because if somebody can say that to me, that means I need a drink. So I don't have so that's why I won't say I won't drink, because I want to enjoy myself, but I won't overdrink ever.
Yeah, I understand.
Unless somebody's babysitting me and it's with purpose.
Because there's always a chance that there's a purpose.
Yeah, I turned 50.
Oh, okay.
And,
okay.
But I probably wouldn't do that because I wouldn't want to mess up this body. Yeah. Look, I'm all about trying to improve the optimal level of this body. And when I say that, I put the right things in. So me staying away from alcohol is cool. Okay. Right?
Yeah, it is.
So scale it back with helping men uncover different conversations.
Yeah, I would just love to. I feel like if you don't know, then you can't experience it, and then you can't gauge it as important or not.
Well, so, no, I've done it.
Give them an opportunity.
I have.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just give an opportunity.
Well, I'll say this: certain people just don't feel like that's important enough to talk about because it's not lined up with what a man does in their household.
Well, I would be interested to for men to explain to me what the value of a hug is for them. Then I want to know. I want to know about that.
Yeah, you know what?
I understand why you looked at it the way you did, but at the same time, I'm just wondering. Because you can only speak on the world that you have. So I only know the men that I grew up with and the man that I'm married to, like my friends. But that's not all of us, you know what I'm saying? Black people are not monoliths, and we have so many different experiences that all come together and make us super unique. And our experiences, whether we know it or not, are shaping how we're moving throughout the world. So when we're talking about hugging or just comforting, being able to be vulnerable with a partner, what have you, I'd be interested to know how many men are comfortable. How often do you cry and your wife covers you? Are you comfortable with that? Or do you be looking like, I need her to get off me, I'm about to wipe these tears and keep moving on? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting to know, but
it would, I
don't think
I ain't gonna lie, like I would want to know their opinions also, but I don't think I would know how to ask the right questions.
I don't either, because with women you just ask, like, hey, yeah.
No, I can say, hey, I have a question. What do you guys think about this? But I don't know if I'll ask it in a way where I can get the most out of them.
Oh, yeah.
I'll come up with something.
All right. I got a question. It's completely unrelated though.
What's that?
Okay. So, I love you too. Okay, so you grow up and they teach you to take care of your teeth. They tell you brush and floss your teeth, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a toothbrush, you have your floss, and you have your mouthwash. What order do you do it in?
Oh, you're supposed to floss first and then brush afterward and then mouthwash.
No.
Yeah.
So how about this? So this is, and it makes sense to me. So somebody offered this information to me. It makes so much sense. So when I was growing up, they used to tell me to brush and floss. So that's what I used to do.
You brush first and then
I used
floss?
to brush and floss because I didn't think about why I was doing it. So then I started brushing and then I would floss. And then I would do my mouthwash because then I'm like, okay, you floss and then all of those spaces are opened up so then the mouthwash can rush through and, rinse everything. I wasn't thinking about the order though. So then they said, no, what you do is you floss and then you do your mouthwash and then you brush, because when you do your mouthwash, are you rinsing off some of that fluoride that was supposed to, because you've heard when you brush your teeth, you're not supposed to rinse your mouth out with water.
Correct.
Right. When I grew up.
When you what? You're not supposed to what?
So when you brush your teeth, people are like, toss either your mouthwash or you toss some water, you swish it around, and you spit it out. But you're not supposed to do that because you just put that fluoride and all of that stuff on your teeth. You're supposed to leave it.
I thought that's from the mouthwash.
No. But, people will have like antiseptic mouthwash and that's supposed to help with like bacteria growth and stuff like that. So you floss so that you can get all of the extra gunk and food out of your mouth, open up the spaces as needed, right? Then you take the mouthwash and it washes through all of those different crevices on your tongue, through your gums, any spaces. And then it helps to break down or stop any bacterial growth. And then you brush to put that final seal of cleaning your teeth and putting that fluoride on to keep the enamel strong. And then you're done.
You sure that's the order?
That was the discussion, see, because women are micro, okay? So we were talking about it, and then I was like, that makes sense. But, like, growing up, as thoughtless as it is, that's how I've done it. I brush my teeth, and then I floss. And I never thought about, because they said, remember to brush and floss.
You know why?
So since I was little, I've always done it that way.
I'm going to tell you why I've done it that way before. And you know why I didn't do it, that I never did it that way anymore? Because when I brushed my teeth and then I floss, my floss stank.
But then I would do mouthwash, and that's supposed to kill the bacteria because now that area is open.
Oh no, I'm saying that's why I.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you mean.
Like, oh no, I gotta brush after this.
But I know that was completely unrelated. But I thought that was so interesting. It just shows how if somebody says something to you and you just do it as you don't think about why you're doing it. So I was doing it wrong for like forever. And when they said that, I was like, yeah, why do I do that? Because all of that makes all the sense in the world.
Well, I don't know. I feel like
y'all can judge me.
Yeah, y'all can comment and let us know.
It's okay to judge me. It just shows that I was mindlessly following, not thinking.
I know we have somebody that's certified in that area. I guess we could just look it up.
Yeah, if anybody could come in and be like, Kanika, you just taught the wrong thing, I would look. But it made all the sense to me once it was discussed. I was like,
no, you might be
yeah,
right, though. What if you're right, though? And people come here just because you may be right. Hey, we are not professionals. This is what I want you to know, that we are just really good at trying to make us work. And what we want to do is just give some ideas on how we work through things in our household too. So hopefully it can blossom your household to be even better, because before these last 2.5 years, it was hell in the household, because as a man, I thought it was supposed to be ran a certain type of way, but I still thought we were happy. But I know, you remember when I said, are you happy? You said, yeah, John. I said, no, you're not happy. You said, how you going to tell me I ain't happy? I said, look, there's another level to this thing. I know that you're not happy.
Because I have been living like that for so long. I was like, this is baseline. I must be happy.
Look, I was like, look, I'm about to show my wife what happy is.
Hey, and now I be looking at him like, if I get anything less, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to deal with you today.
Oh, shoot.
Look, you can't tell somebody that they've been asleep. Like I really was. I was like, everything is cool. I guess I'm happy. I don't feel unsafe. I don't feel like I'm going without much at all. You just kind of get used to the everyday grind, and you forget. I think that I've said in a previous episode or what have you, is just like talking about what you want versus that bare minimum. And I was getting the bare minimum, and I took that as this is good, and I was operating off of that. So right now I'm on the journey of operating off of
help.
Yeah.
Support.
No, but my want and what I feel I deserve. I'm working on that.
And I'm working on giving her more than she deserves, because she deserves it. And I'm excited about the challenge too.
What's the challenge?
The
toothbrush? What?
The challenge on supporting you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. I agree.
Supporting you in a way.
To it too.
Yeah.
I am.
I mean, just think, if I think you do everything well, and if I give you help, that means your well is gonna look really ridiculous, superhero like.
Oh, okay. I really want to be a superhero.
That's what I'm saying. I already married one.
All right.
Anyways, I want to give a shout out again to Mal the brand. Some really good material for joggers and t-shirts, jogging suits. And they have this new sweatshirt with, what is it called?
It's the collegiate. I don't know if it's called collegiate. We would have to check and make sure. But it's like the collegiate collection. It looks really nice. It has like that Chanel block letter.
Yeah,
looks like
I just saw it.
What does it look like? A Letterman jacket type of thing.
Yeah, it's dope. And I'm pretty sure the material is pretty good on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to cop some of those soon. You want to give any shout out to do?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the Lip Bar, because you know what? The Lip Bar, I am not a makeup person. I do not understand the processes. However, I utilized them recently for a friend's 40th birthday. And when I say I look like I might have known what I was doing, everything, look, I looked good. I'm just going to say that. So, they have great products, very, very beautiful lipstick colors. They match to your skin tone. Like, they give our complexion, and then there are variations in between. So trust me, if you're interested in anything like foundation, tint, lipstick, those are my favorites. Oh my goodness, their eyeliner goes on so creamy smooth. And I'm horrible with eyeliner. I always mess it up, but it's beautiful. Go check them out. For real.
For sure. Shout out to the Lip Bar. Also, I want to give a shout out to
Shout out
Howard University. I want to start acknowledging HBCUs, because you guys deserve all of the best talent. Mm-hmm. And we're going to try to change the narrative of why we are attending the larger institutions. And we understand before it was due to resources and all of these other things, but now I believe that the generation has changed where we can start to invest in people that look like us that's working at these universities. So a lot of the top tier talent goes to us, and
comes from us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about coming.
Oh, yeah, go to the university. Got you. Go to the HBCUs. Got you.
Yeah, because, all the athletes, they go to the larger institutions for exposure and, because their bag is nicer. But being that, the times are changing, the paradigm shift is happening, we can get some of these brilliant gems into HBCUs and change the outlook for African Americans in the Western world.
All right.
Yeah. But for everybody else, make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you cannot control. GATA. Get after that action, or else that action will get after you.
Boom.